Numbers don't lie. That's what a young engineer believed in 2012, analyzing data at a multi-billion-dollar holding company. While everyone else chased the next big thing, he stayed focused on patterns, on systems, on what the data actually showed. Every day, he'd see something everyone else is missing. Marketing teams celebrating metrics that mean absolutely nothing, sales teams following processes that just didn't work, and companies are building on assumptions instead of facts. Today, that same engineer drives millions in pipeline through LinkedIn, not through fancy automation, not through growth hacks, through pure system thinking applied to modern marketing. But here's what makes this story worth your time. It shows what happens when you take an engineer's obsession with data and turn it loose on B2B marketing's biggest problem. So before we get into this epic story, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, or hit the link under my name on this post. Every Wednesday, I break down how the most successful founders have built their empires, and you don't want to miss the next one. So let's get back to the story. Chris Walker didn't dream of becoming a B2B marketing innovator. With degrees in electrical and computer engineering and biomedical engineering, his path seemed set: analyze systems, solve technical problems, follow the data, right? But here's where the plot twists. At Halma Holdings, Chris wasn't just doing engineering, he was learning something far more valuable: how to spot patterns across different business functions. Because when you're trained as an engineer, you don't just accept things because that's how they've always been done. You look at proof, you go logical, you analyze the system, you question assumptions. This engineering mindset changed everything for Chris. In one division, he'd watch sales teams rely entirely on field motions that didn't match how customers actually wanted to buy. In other divisions, marketing teams celebrated metrics that had zero correlation with revenue. And by 2016, the pattern was clear. Companies were running strategies from the past. The market had shifted beneath their feet, but their methods hadn't really caught up. So here's what he saw that others did not. Companies tracking vain metrics instead of revenue impact. Marketing teams celebrating email open rates with sales struggled. Millions spent on lead generation with terrible ROI. Go-to-market strategists disconnected from how buyers actually buy. Here's how Chris said it. The marketing KPIs are not aligned to business results. B2B marketing has spent the last 10 to 15 years running the same outdated, ineffective playbook. So most people would have just accepted this as how things are done, but good engineers don't accept, they analyze. So instead of accepting conventional wisdom about lead generation and MQLs, he broke down marketing processes into measurable, testable components. Demand marketing is a combination of art, psychology, math, systems, engineering, communication, and of course, empathy. This wasn't just a marketing philosophy, it was an engineer's approach to fixing a broken system. While other marketers focused on quick wins and best practices, Chris was building something different. He was creating frameworks that could actually measure business impact. And by 2018, he wasn't just questioning old methods, he was writing new ones. These weren't based on gut feeling or industry trends, no. They were built on data, system thinking, and pattern recognition. Now, most companies think they have a sales and marketing problem, but what they actually have is a business strategy problem. 2019, before COVID, Chris made a move that seemed crazy at the time. He launched Refine Labs from his living room with just one client paying $100 an hour. The timing was perfect, but not in the way that most people would think. Market was flooded with money. There was the ZERP era. Everything was free. Massive valuations. Companies were throwing cash at any solution that promised growth. Hire more SDRs, ad spend, go for it. Let's buy more marketing tools. Let's just go on a spree to Vegas and see if we can just find prospects. But here's what everyone missed. Efficiency didn't matter when money was free. Companies were building growth engines that only worked in perfect conditions, like a sports car that only runs on perfect roads. Through Refine Labs, Chris started showing companies a different path. Not just another agency promising quick wins. This was a laboratory. He worked with over 200 B2B companies. It gave him something invaluable: pattern recognition at scale. And the pattern was very clear. Traditional lead generation was burning money. MQLs weren't qualifying anything. Pipeline attribution was just telling the wrong story, and most companies had no idea what actually drove growth. So instead of just pointing out problems, Chris built something new. I like to call it the 3 pillars of modern pipeline generation. First, community-driven pipeline. And this isn't just about creating content, it's about building genuine relationships at scale. The new system says, build real connections. The focus shift from quantity to quality, transactions to relationships, quick wins to long-term value, automation to authenticity. Now let's move to pillar 2, modern go-to-market architecture. This is where my perspective aligns perfectly with Chris's approach. It's not just about creating content and hoping for the best. You need a framework that scales. You need a solid foundation. That's your data structure. You need clear blueprints, your go-to-market strategy, the right tools and materials, the tech stack. And you need your go-to-market engineer to help you. And of course, you need the builders, skilled builders that are across cross-functional teams. The architecture has to support everything. How data flows between the systems, how teams collaborate, how decisions get made, how success gets measured. Chris's third pillar, integrated audience development. This is where most companies get it completely wrong. They try to build audience through paid ads or automation, but Chris showed a better way. Instead of renting attention, build an own audience. You create consistent value, share genuine insights, build in public, engage authentically. And because of this, Refine Labs became one of the fastest growing B2B demand generation agencies in history, not through fancy tactics, but through proven systems that actually work. So check this out. In May 2022, he shares this. The fear of a recession and economic slowdown forces companies to make decisions that they should have made anyway. Here's how it's going to play out. Phase 1, pump the brakes hard. We're in this phase right now. Companies lay off employees, cut costs because they're not profitable and don't have a clear path to profitability. Companies try to lower burn, extend the runway. This is a survival tactic, not a strategic move. This wasn't just market commentary. This was the catalyst for something bigger. In January 2024, Chris launched Faceta, a more advanced response to this market shift. Here's the mission. Help CEOs and CFOs see their entire go-to-market clearly, make million-dollar decisions with confidence, build growth engines that work in any market condition. Here's what really sets Chris apart. He shares these insights. So his LinkedIn strategy isn't just about going viral. It's about consistently delivering value that transform how companies think about growth. Instead of chasing trends, he shares data-backed insight. So confirmed with data. Paid social leads on Facebook and LinkedIn, terribly inefficient, and provide very low ROI. Same thing I've seen for 6 years, now confirmed in a massive data set. Instead of sugarcoating problems, he calls them out. A lot of companies think they have a sales and marketing problem, but they actually have a business strategy problem. Instead of following the crowd, he challenges conventional thinking. Quote, my worst performing LinkedIn post drives the most revenue because I'm sharing new thinking that isn't yet widely accepted. Every post follows clear principles. 1, start with real data. 2, challenge assumptions. 3, show what actually works. And 4, give practical next steps. But there's something deeper happening here. Chris isn't just building a following, he's building a movement. He's showing that B2B marketing can be different. It can be authentic. It can be efficient. It can actually freaking work. So, the future Chris sees is radically different from today's B2B marketing landscape. Companies are at a crossroads. They must choose one of two paths. Path 1, keep following the old methods, rely on outdated frameworks, chase vanity metrics, run inefficient processes, make decisions without data. Or path 2, build for the future. Create unified data structures, align teams around real metrics, build sustainable growth engines, make confident data-driven decisions. Now, through Faceta, Chris is building what I call go-to-market in the new era. This isn't just about better marketing, it's about new data architecture, new KPIs that matter, new ways to align teams, and new approaches to growth. Quote, there's a massive divergence occurring in B2B go-to-market today. Companies need to build profitable, efficient growth engines. But what does this actually mean for you? Well, let's break down exactly how you can apply these principles to your own pipeline gen through LinkedIn. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your presence, these insights work incredibly well for you. 1, start with system thinking. Don't just post randomly, build a system. Track what works with real data. Notice patterns in engagement, test different approaches, measure actual business impact. Here's how I've seen this work. The typical approach is chasing viral posts, but this approach isn't building sustainable systems that drive real results, right? So 2 is building your foundation. Before you worry about going viral, focus on clear, consistent value, real insights from experience, data-backed perspectives, authentic engagement. I've watched Chris do this for years now. He never chases quick wins. He builds relationships that compound over time. Number 3, focus on quality over quantity. Instead of how many posts should I write, ask what value can I consistently deliver? This is where most people get it wrong. They think volume equals results, but Chris proved something different. Quality engagement beats mass outreach every single time. But remember, tools and tactics change, but principles don't. From what I've learned from Chris is you need to deliver real value, build genuine relationships, share authentic insights, measure actual impact. So I've watched Chris transform B2B marketing and how that's taught me something really crucial. Success isn't about following trends, it's about building systems that work. That's why I'm helping founders activate and build their brands on LinkedIn, not through tricks or hacks, but through building systems that actually drive results. Every week, I break down how the most successful creators build their empire, right? I have a system for doing this. This is not just some magic that shows up every Wednesday. There's a real system here. And I took Chris's advice on how to do that to make this for you. If you want more breakdowns like this, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Wednesday with another Founder Breakdown.